All right, so the challenge has been laid down, of course. Espanyol, they are the favorites, as we talked about. Super Team Vertex coming in with a daunting task, but they've been in this position before, especially Coca and Dumaine, playing from that underdog position a lot last season. How do you think that they respond now coming into this matchup against a team at the top of the standings?
I think that they've got to clean up a ton on the defensive side. If they can get their defense going, I think exactly as you said, we could see this go to a later game 5, but there's been a lot of defensive breakdowns on the side of Vertex so far this season. We'll see if they can piece that together here in game number 1.
Well, that ball takes an unfortunate ricochet off of Coca and almost turned into disaster on the side of Vertex, as Coca has to save this one off the back wall. We are underway in game 1 of our 3rd match in the European Rival Series today. Here's Dumaine looking for Nagflow. Going to try to get this centered. He cannot. So Tox trying to go over top of Coca, who's had to put a lot of work in on the defensive end in just the first 30 seconds. This time, Dumaine deflects the ball out towards midfield, and it will be staked to reset for Espanyol.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those things we want to watch this match, is that third man on Vertex side. It'll indicate if they've cleaned it up or not. Their third man has been really willing to make cuts on his rotation back to the infield when there's nobody else back there to give him support, and that's where their breakdown's been, so that's what I'm watching for this match.
Everybody whiffs out of the corner, so it'll be Tox. Infield to Samway, over top of Coca. Nagflow almost got there in time, but Steak will drive it home.
Nagflow is going to get there, able to get the touch back up here. Just barely, but Steak right there to dunk it still. He just could not clear it around him. First goal going to go the way of RCD Espanyol.
So it takes just 1 minute and 9 seconds. And now Espanyol looking for more, but Nagflow jumps in the way of that ball. Now it'll be Steak towards the corner, looking to center. He does! Ooh. Got that last touch, and Shamway could not get there in time.
Coca making it back just in time to save that one. Close situation for them. Steak, though, going to win that battle in the mid. Infield pass to Jamwe. Looks for the bump on Nagflow, but Nagflow with a great reaction gets over it, gets the side flip, and knocks that one away.
Yeah, that's a great job by Nagflow, keeping his focus with the oncoming attacker, but then Tox back the other way. As good as Coca has been in the first couple of minutes, he's finally starting to slip because he's been asked to almost carry the defensive effort against a relentless Espanyol squad.
And that's one of the things that if you're having a breakdown on the defense, if they're relentless on your net, it's going to become a problem, and it's going to be much more evident much earlier on in the match. So, going to need to clean that one up.
Oh, good pass out to Steak. He tried to bank one off the ceiling towards the net. Kokai got in the way, but now Tox trying to drop one down, and Nagflow just dumps it off to the corner and will clear this ball out to midfield. Now Steak. He lost control, tried to get a piece of Coca on his way through. Jamwe comes in to intercept again, missed on the second touch, and a chance for numbers the other way, but Vertex breaking out a little slowly. A fortuitous bounce off the corner, and the shot's going to go high. Back the other way now for Coca, as this will kick out to Dumaine. Right down towards the top corner, did miss the mark. And again, Coca circling around, a little indecisiveness. Now he finally turns, and it will be taken downfield by Espanyol. That indecisiveness leads to a shot from Tox. But now back the other way comes Vertex. They got 2 minutes to work with. Still down 2 goals. Looking for their first great chance on target. Could be here, but Dumaine gets taken out by Steak. Tox downfield, off the mark, and Coca guides it away safely. Oh, that almost went in as well, coming from the side.
Such a close one. That demo in the midfield was great. That player is about to turn around and have a shot on an open net. They were able to get that demo out. Great save there from Steak on the goal line.
Now Steak, he tried to pinch that downfield, shades of Reynolds. It didn't really work out. Now Tox will just throw it out towards midfield, try to buy his teammates time to boost up. There's not a lot of boost to be had in the defensive backfield for Espanyol. They don't need it, though. Talk's going to break out, and Coca barely makes the save. He can't make the second, and Shamway might have just put the dagger into game one.
If he didn't, I'd be very surprised. 3-0, minute left on the clock here. Going to be a really tough task for Vertex. Vertex not doing that bad. They're getting almost the same number of shots until right there at the end. They were only one shot off from RCD Espanyol, but unfortunately the shooting percentage is just not there at the moment.
And that's been a constant between these two teams. Espanyol does average almost a full shot more per game than Vertex, and the shooting percentages have been pretty well even. In fact, Vertex is just a little bit higher, but with Espanyol having all those extra opportunities, you have to imagine something's got to give eventually, and it has 3 times, as everybody has scored for the front runners in the European Rival Series.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to say about shots on goal. Your percentage may be a little bit lower, but if you're hitting 25% and they're only 0.74% ahead of you, but you're doing 2 times the shots, you're going to end up with more goals. It's just basic math.
And the possession game has greatly favored Espanyol, as you see they're just trying to dribble out the clock at this point. An extra goal would just be icing on the cake, but hardly necessary, as this will go back to Shamway. Textbook closing out in game number 1 as Espanyol start their march towards 4-0.
RCD Espanyol dominated the boost game that round, was able to just keep Vertex, as Spaceman says, on the back foot that entire match. They took almost 75% of both the mid boosts and had roughly 80% of their own boosts taken. So they controlled the boost throughout that match.
And a player like Coca has got to be really frustrated, because he certainly does not want to be the guy all the way at the back, but he was in that opening game. You saw it there. He had 4 saves. Most of them came very early on in that game. He also had that many shots, a big goose egg for Coca in game 1.
Yeah, and that shows just how much on the back foot they were. Coca was never able to get up and even make an attempt at a shot on goal. Not even make an attempt for a pass near goal where it gives him a shot. He couldn't be gifted one. RCD Espanyol completely dominated the pitch in that match. They controlled the speed, the pace, possession game, the majority of the statistics that we would look at to determine who's the actual feel of the game, not just the raw stats or score per game. They dominated all the key factors.
Well, the career leader in total goals in the rival series on this Vertex roster had exactly none. Nobody had any goals in game 1. They will try to do a lot about that as we go to game 2 on Neo Tokyo. Opening kickoff going to be very important, because that set the tone for Espanyol in game 1, and yet again, the ball finds its way towards the Vertex end, but not for long, as Nagflo will flick one down towards the opposite corner. Trying to get set up. Dumaine could not intercept that ball from Shamway, and that is an inauspicious start for Team Vertex.
Great challenge from Tox there. Vertex able to get possession back, though. Coca, shot attempt, not able to get anything going. Woo! Dangerous ball.
Yeah, if they don't score there, that's got to be a bad omen for the rest of the series, too. Great opportunity for Dumaine. High degree of difficulty as he was coming through, but one that I'm sure he'd like to have back. Coca and Steak both tried to block each other. Neither got the ball. And now the net's open if anybody can get there, but Nagflo could not kick the ball out towards Dumaine. Coca did all he could to disrupt the attack coming back the other way. Shamway will center, and Dumaine right out towards Steak. That was well read, but even a better read by Coca. And now Team Vertex finally getting on the board. It is Nagflo.
Exactly what they needed. Vertex needed a goal here to open this one up and start getting this offense moving. You need to get a little bit of a rhythm. You need to get that flow going, and Nagflo gets them on the board. Started off here in game 2. 3:53 left.
Kickoff goes left, but it is taken by Espanyol. Shamway, center ball, blocked away by Nagflo again. And Vertex has, for the most part, done a pretty good job of keeping that ball out of the center, out from in front of their own net. But it's in situations like this where Dumaine has to get away from Stake trying to take him out, where they run into a lot of trouble because just that threat of contact seems to throw Vertex off their game. All three cars converge for Espanyol, but it does not cost them yet. But Nagflow will rotate around. His shot on is going to be easily blocked well out in front by Cox. And another opportunity gone by the wayside. You wonder, Super, if maybe they could have taken possession a little bit more there and tried to burn off a little more clock instead of giving it away.
Absolutely. I think they had space to take it instead of boom it out of there. They could have eaten some clock up for sure. 100% agree with you on that.
And possession, of course, being such an important part of this game. You saw what Espanyol did with their possession in Game 1, and despite the demo on Dumaine, Nagflow rotates back for the save. Still numbers advantage, though, and Espanyol denied again. It's Dumaine making yet another save. Now Nagflow, that's going to find Coca. He fakes out Cox, left him in the dust, and Coca doubles the lead. What a play!
Great play here. The RCD Espanyol starting to get a bit aggressive on the offensive end. They're starting to open up some holes in the background. There's many times here so far this match that they have had all three players in the offensive half during a transitional phase. 2 of these times, something's been made of it by Vertex.
Way tried to set up Stake, but he never jumped. Assumed that ball was going to be cleared, but he neither got ball nor defender. So Espanyol will go back to the drawing board. This will kick off of Stake to find Shamway, but he missed it entirely as well. I think that last touch, accidentally by Stake, threw him off. And now Coca, off ceiling, on target. No, sent away by Shamway.
Again, RCD Espanyol looking to try and get some sort of offense going here. They haven't been able to, and it feels like it's quite frustrating to them. But as I say that, every time they always prove me wrong. Pass off the back wall from Cox here, and it's going to come down right into the hands of Stake and into the net.
And that's exactly what Espanyol needed. They've been trying to get this ball out in front, very close to the Vertex net, and Nagflow in particular did a great job of clearing that ball away. Dumaine as well, sweeping around from the side, kind of a late rotation. This time, everything came a little too late. The contact wasn't there. And now Espanyol are finally on the board. Can they add another? Not on this occasion. They get the demo on Coca, but it's the other two who have been putting in the work defensively. That's a clever pass, and Stake shot denied again by Nagflow.
Yeah, Nagflow seeing right through that one, touches it, almost ends up being a dangerous situation for RCD as he put it right over the third man and out into the backfield. They just couldn't capitalize to get there in time to make anything out of it.
Well, now Cox intercepting Coca. Stake with a drive, and Dumaine makes that save as well. A well-earned Savior medal for Dumaine, who has been a monster on both ends of the pitch. Now it's Nagflow to pop another one away. Shamway as Espanyol continue to circle the wagons, trying to find an equalizer. You can tell, Super, that they've kicked it into high gear in the final minute.
They're trying to get this one in. They're definitely kicking into high gear. They've had a ton of shots so far, out shooting 12-2, but the scoreboard doesn't show that right now. It has to be extremely frustrating to have that many opportunities just taken away time and time again.
Coca, if he has enough boost, no, he's run out, so Shamway will clear away, trying to find Stake high in the air. He could not. Now to be back to Shamway, all he can do is slow things down. Final countdown here. Cox or Stake looking for an equalizer, has the boost to follow, but the shot falls wayward, and Team Vertex ties the series. And get this, Supersonic, now so far this season, Team Vertex is 0-5 in Game 1, but 5-0 in Game 2.
You know, they show up. They show up where they need to in these Game 2s. And defensively is where they showed up. And that is exactly what I was talking about at the beginning. That was the downfall. I didn't see the holes in their defense at all there. In other matches, in the VODs I was watching and some of the replays, there was a lot of times where, you know, they'd leave Dumain on the back wall. The other two would go to get corner boost. There was a lot of situations where you leave them isolated, nobody in the box. That box has had somebody in it the whole game, and it's showing defensively. They don't have a ton of possession, but when they do get possession in this game too, they made something of it every time.
Yeah, it's amazing how this season has gone for Vertex. It's just every match is the same. Now, what do they do going into game 3? Because game 3 is the game where, you know, they've been outscored, but not to quite the margin that they have been in games, say, 1 and 4. You know, they've only been outscored a total of 5-9 once they're coming off of a win here. So, what do they do in this game to change their fortunes?
Don't change anything from what you did in the previous match. Maintain your defense. That is golden for you. When you're showing up on the defensive side, they're getting things done, they're getting the saves, and they're opening themselves up for opportunities.
Correction just for the sake of completion? No, I do not need to correct anything. Boom. It is, in fact, 0-4 and 4-0. I don't know why I doubted myself, but here we go. We go into game 3 now, as these two teams will lock it up yet again, tied at a game apiece. It'll be Coca, intercepted by Shamway. He got the demo as well. Steak has no more boost, but Tox does, and Coca makes the save on him. This will go all the way around, and it will be Nagflow looking for one more touch. Great challenge. This will fall to Dumain. That'll be left for Coca, but Shamway is in the way. And Tox now one-on-one. What a pass to Steak. They deserve a goal, and they got it.
This is one of the things that RCD Espanyol does so well. When they can isolate a single player on the goal line, they typically win these battles. Clean play, nice infield pass, easy finish behind the defender on that top shell.
1-3, the record for Vertex in game 3, and they are on the losing end very early on. Cox takes this away from Coca. Drop down pass though for Nagflow. A blistering shot saved away right at the line by Steak. That was one of Vertex's best opportunities of the whole series, and one that I'm sure on another day they would have put into the net. Now Coca back the other way. It is an open net this time, and they do not miss these.
And this is something that was a bit of a problem for RCD Espanyol in the last game, where they started getting a bit aggressive. They would have 2-3 guys in midfield, 1 or 2 of them in the offensive half, but nobody at net during those transitions. And you gotta be there. You cannot leave open nets for anybody in the rival series. They're gonna hit those.
Shamway trying to change speeds and play tricks on the defensive Vertex. It has not worked out, and now Nagflow going to take his time. What do the Germans have for an encore here as they try to fight back against the top-ranked Espanyol squad? Coca did get that corner boost, but he'll rotate out. Nagflow, good center ball for Dumain. Shamway makes the save, but he won't make another as Coca comes up this time. We'd seen him so far at the back super. This time, much more aggressive.
Oh, Coca super excited here. The open ball, defenders caught awkward off the ground. You gotta love it. Coca getting up there and getting to get a shot. That's gotta feel real good for him. That helps keep that composure and that headspace once you get yourself on the board.
Both teams cheat up. It was Shamway with the better cheat, and it leads to an early attack for Espanyol. Can Tox it back to this? He can. They almost got caught napping on the defensive side. This goes off Shamway and does go wide after he got the demo on Coca. Now Nagflow trying to pop one over Steak.
Out to the middle. Coca here. He's going to be that one this time. Rotate back. Nagflow. Looks like Coca might have another opportunity here. He's getting a little more involved on the offense, and I love seeing it right now. Ooh.
There's a big drive from Nagflow, and he adds yet another. And this is the offense Vertex was hoping for at the start of the season. As good as they looked throughout the offseason and through the play-in, now we're finally seeing them. Dumain, meanwhile, picks up his third assist as Nagflow gets on the board.
Yeah, Vertex finally finding a rhythm offensively. They were really awkward, kind of slow in game one as RCD Espanyol took control of everything. Steak gonna almost bring this one back. Or does bring it back up to 2-3. They're only down one here now, 2.5 minutes left. I do want to stay on that, though, that Vertex does, on the offense, have a much better rhythm than we saw through game one. Game two is all defense. They're finally bringing the offense in here in game three.
When you look at the tail of the tape on these two teams, Espanyol comes in as the number 4 team in goals per game. They average just over 2, but they've been in a shootout here in game 3 against a Vertex team that does not run it up very often.
No, they don't typically run it up, but they are definitely getting on there right now. 9-8, so they're currently out shooting RCD Espanyol, which is not indicative of what their season's been like so far. Nice place shot from Tox as he comes in upside down and puts it just about on that upper 90.
Yeah, finally somebody other than Steak getting on the board. Steak leading the way for all scorers in this series with 4 goals. That just the second for Tox as it ties up this game. Series and game all knotted up. Banger off the backboard and Coca will clear it away. Now Dumaine looking for Nagflow. Dumaine trying to win this challenge on Tox. He does not. Steak is up so quickly. Got a piece of the ceiling as well, but burned his jump coming off. And now it will be back downfield for Chamois. Important clearance there for Nagflow. Now Dumaine playing one further on, and Tox dangerously in front of his own net. Now he pitches off the wall, and no, they just get back in time. Dumaine had no business making that save, and yet he still did with a superhuman effort to get back.
What a save there. That ball I thought for sure was going in. Gets back just in time to knock it away.
Well, now Dumaine. As we reach the final minute, can he set one up on the other side? No. Coca chest beaten to this ball. Now Steak, pop over one. Just about past Dumaine, but he does well to control this. Another shot on is just off the post, saving the bacon of Espanyol. Chamois won't get there, though. Dumaine can't pass towards midfield, so back and forth the teams go, waiting for someone to blink in the final 30.
This is one of those moments you're in that game 3 situation, and you were talking about how in game 3s, Vertex kind of starts to fall off again, and they started off so strong in this match, and RCD Espanyol has been able to fight back. Is doubt starting to creep in on the side of Vertex? We might end up in an OT situation and put them to the test.
Overtime is looming with the clock at 0. Tox will let this touch down. And so we do, in fact, go to extra time, where both of these teams are exactly 500 on the season. Vertex 1-1. Espanyol has gone there 4 times. And now they've finished with a 3rd overtime victory. It's a 4-3 winner from Tox.
This and right back to the stat line that you were talking about. We talked about coming into the match here today. Game 3s, this has got to be rough. You're losing that game 3 here once again. What's the stat on that now? Is that 0-6 on game 3s?
On game 3, 0-5.
I know you know.
Oh no, 1-4. 1-4 in game
1-4.
3.
So now, and this is now okay. So 1-4. That's a tough situation. Does that get into your head? Have they even looked at that statistic? That's one of those things, like, we're looking at it, but is that even in their mind? I'm not sure that that's even in the forefront of their head. We like talking about it. I don't know that it's going to affect them, but they're going to need to figure something out here again in game number 4. It does seem like when they get into these matches and they start taking as many shots as the opponent, the defense isn't there quite as much. They still had a ton of saves there, 7 total saves versus 11 shots, but those 4 that weren't saved all went in. RCD Espanyol has been on the money with the accuracy, and they're putting that defense to the test.
And what I think the constant has been so far, as you mentioned, with the shot total for Vertex, as they take more shots, they get a little comfortable. on the offensive end, and that causes them to kind of lose sight of what's going on behind them. And now we go into a closeout situation where Espanyol, they've only missed out on one chance to finish off a team, and then they did so in Game 5 later on in that series, as of course they are 3-0 on the season, one win away from reaching 4-0 and staying up above the likes of Notorious Legion and others that are trying to catch up to them. As we continue on, Game 4 on Utopia Coliseum. Tough to have a much better week than the likes of Espanyol or Notorious Legion have this week, and what a time to have it as we reach the midway point of the season.
Yep. Good effort from Stake to kind of stall that one out. Fox tries to get back. Dumaine with the shot. Gonna get knocked away. Shamway there to break it up.
Oh, Shamway just helplessly falling down. He could not get a piece of this ball. I'm reasonably confident there was no boost. There was not. And all he could do was watch as Dumaine cleans up the rebound, and Vertex strike first as they try to stave off, dropping to 1-4.
The feeling of that as you're falling and you just realize there is absolutely nothing you are going to be able to do, as you have to just watch that ball go in, is just heartbreaking. But Vertex going to be the first one on the board here early in Game 4. See if they can get out of this funk and start taking some Game 4s for themselves.
For what it's worth, if we get there, Vertex has only seen one Game 5 this season. They beat Baguette Squad there for their only win of the season. They got a lot of work to hold on here, though, because Espanyol has proved to be a relentless attacking team. Jamway with a drive and ranging over to make the save is Dumaine. Follow up from Stake. They have numbers up ahead, but cannot get the crucial touch they need. Now Coca just lets this go to the corner. Does steal some boost. He'll keep the attack alive. And Tox makes sure that pass doesn't find Nagflow. Follow-up is saved by Stake. Now Shamway, bit of a pre-jump to challenge on Coca. It works out. And now Tox, he can't center either, as both teams do an excellent job keeping the ball out of the front.
Coca going to try and get a big clear here over. Pass off the backboard to Dumaine, not able to get anything from it. And they're starting to get aggressive here on offense once again. Right here, Coca is back finally, but they're, oh my God, off the backboard is Tox with the pass from Stake, and he's going to redirect that one down and in. Beautifully placed shot from Tox.
Fewest touches in the lobby. Tox doesn't matter. He makes them count as he adds an equalizer, and a loud one at that. Just hanging like a spider on the backboard, and now the challenge for Vertex. Answer that. Good luck, as Shamway will dump one back into the zone. Coca try to carry through. That's going to bounce off of Stake. Tox over to Shamway. Can he get this ball centered? He cannot, as Dumaine keeps the ball out of the middle. And again, Vertex did a good job defensively, except they left Tox. They lost sight of him up on the back wall, and nobody was there to challenge him. That's a good challenge in front of the Espanyol net, and it almost goes in off of Stake. Scary moment there for Espanyol, but we remain tied up going into the second half.
Yeah, those backboard reads are just going to be so hard. If you don't know that guy's there, you're never going to see him in your camera coming in, and you don't know where to be to block. You can't let those guys be there. You got to keep an eye on your backboard.
Shamway. Good ball over across the field, but nobody there to collect. Coca's over one. Past another. Can Dumaine win the race? No, he tried to jump up on that corner, and it did not work out for him. Now Nagflow. Backboard missed by Tox. Open opportunity now for Coca against Stake. He's beat him, but Shamway recovers and makes the clear. Well done by the defense of Espanyol. This could have been a lot worse. It still could be, but that's another good stop by Shamway at the net. And Espanyol fends off the Vertex attack.
Scoreline's not showing it, but currently the speed and pacing of this game does feel like Vertex is in it to win it. They feel like they've got control over the ball. They're definitely getting a better attack, much more attacks on net. as they've been speeding up that offense, but they're going to need to start kind of reining it in and finding that happy medium spot before they get out of control again.
Shamway beaten out by Dumaine, but he's not likely to keep possession as it will be cleared right back. Again, waiting for someone to make a critical mistake. Ball goes back and forth across the center line. Shamway got around Dumaine, but nobody there. So now Tox will bring it right back in. Shamway did stay up. Backboard play for Stake, and Dumaine gets in the way. Got the demo, though, on Coca. Good centering pass. Selfless play, but Dumaine runs right through Shamway on his way back to make another defensive stop.
Fake with a nice bump there, gets Shamway a shot opportunity, not able to find it off the backboard. A lot of good opportunities from both teams here. RCD Espanyol just not quite able to find their rhythm on offense yet.
Well, now Stake will try with the closing seconds here. Shamway off the corner, cannot win that challenge. And it looks like we're headed to overtime for the second game in a row. Must win golden goal situation for Team Vertex. Guide downfield for Coca to guide off to the corner. Was looking for Dumaine, and he'll find him. He goes right around Stake. Got a chance now. Great pass for Nagflow. Great pass. Nice shot. Good game.
Vertex coming through, doing exactly what we said they needed to. This is the moment. You need to seize that opportunity, and they show up big. Nice infield pass from Dumaine. Nagflow with the finish, and they finally getting some traction here. The defense, they're there on defense, they're there on offense. The rhythm right there towards the last minute and a half and into OT felt really strong out of Vertex, and it feels like that's the speed that they need to be playing, and they need to maintain that for the rest of the season.
Told you this wouldn't be a sweep. How would anybody doubt me? I'm never wrong, except when I am, and well, we don't talk about those times. So the teams do trade overtime wins now. We go to game 5, and Super, they've only played less than a minute of extra time. It's been 2 very quick overtimes, and there doesn't seem to be a whole lot between these teams that separates them. But again, you notice on that scoreboard, Coca, again, with no shots, they feel like they've got to get him going, because if he's all the way at the back, they're going to be sweating it out a lot.
I don't know that I agree. Maybe this is just a team that lives in the sweat. Maybe this is they like saunas. I'm not sure what it is. They're more of a jacuzzi guy instead of a pool guy. But Coca being back there, those are the matches they're winning. When Coca's not up there on offense, the game 1, I don't think he had any shots, but they took that one, or game 2, I'm sorry. Game 2, they took that one. He didn't really have any shots, but he was back there on defense, and they shut them down defensively. They can, when they do have the defense going, the offense does make plays off the opportunities presented to them, and I think that they need to stay in that rhythm. I did like it a little bit better here. Coca was a bit more involved. He was at least in the rotation, wasn't 100% back the whole time, but I think that that's just kind of where Vertex lives.
Well, 2 maps that we've seen for the first time today. This one, Champions Field, as always, in our deciding match. This one's turned out to be quite the joy to watch between Espanyol and Team Vertex. It'll be Tox centering pass for Stake. Coca jumps in the way. And that is where he has had his presence felt all throughout this series.
Up front is Coca this time, though.
Shamway. Hello. Shamway. A ball that accidentally finds him and goes into an open net. That's got to be heartbreak for Vertex.
Again, Coca, though, one of the things to notice, Coca was the one there. He was the farthest forward, now putting it back to Nagflow and Dumaine to be back there, and Nagflow just not able to get there as that shot comes all the way across the field and finds home.
Well, the gauntlet's been thrown down now. They've got 4 minutes and change to find yet another answer, and Vertex, for the most part, have had an answer for everything Espanyol has thrown their way. Coca around Stake. Stake will get that midfield boost, but Coca will not get the ball in front, as this will go all the way back. Dumaine's going to have a little trouble out of the corner. Dribbled around one, but Stake stopped him in his tracks. Shamway, another good challenge. Stake is there. and the defense did just enough to make that shot difficult. Now Tox, selfless play, tried to set up Shamway. That does not work out. And Vertex, they're going to get away with one there, as it looked like Espanyol, had they all been on the same page, might have doubled their lead. Oh, and they're going to anyways.
Another
this
one.
Goes into an empty net.
Once again, Coca, the guy out in front, he's that third man for this team. And when he's not back, defense breaks down. Double commit, pushing for that mid boost from the other two players. Coca all the way out in front, came off of a bump. He's not going to be able to get back there, and it leaves a wide open net for RCD Espanyol.
Espanyol now with a 2-goal lead in this second closeout situation. Now a good ball downfield, looking for yet another. They have had some success off a quick counterattack that Vertex has not been able to keep up with. They've had a few close calls in this series, but not nearly the level of success that they're enjoying right now, and a missed opportunity by Vertex in front of the Espanyol net. Another challenge going back towards the orange half of the field, and it just feels right now for Vertex like it's an uphill climb, just trying to get and stay on Espanyol's half of the field. And yet another from Shamway.
Defensively breaking down. This time Coca was out trying to get some boost out on the side. He's not able to get back. That second man needed to be there until he got back. Unfortunately left early, and another open net shot for RCD Espanyol. You cannot give these guys these opportunities.
It feels like not quite like they're playing on Wasteland, but almost like they're playing on Cosmic, where just everything is funneling towards the center of the field right now. And finally a quality opportunity from Dumaine, and at almost point-blank range, he could not find the angle. And if their shoulders weren't slumping before, they've got to be feeling just desperate for anything to go their way now.
Yeah, it's coming down to the 2-minute remaining mark. Pressure is just going to continue to build. We did say that Vertex likes being in these kind of sweat-style situations with the heat on. That's where they've been performing, but they've got to get this defense going.
Another drive from State, right side. That's going to find the net, and it looks like, as much as Vertex might think they enjoy the heat, things are cooling off for them on the offensive end. They have not gotten anything going. Meanwhile, Espanyol adds their 4th goal in Game 5.
Yeah, it feels like RCD Espanyol is kind of on the outside of the sauna, just kind of cranking the dial on them, and it's starting to get the heat to a level that Vertex just cannot handle.
It will be Dumaine with 90 seconds left. Good pass. That will find Nagflow. Is it too little too late, or do they have a comeback in them here?
We're going to find out. First sign of life from that offense on Vertex this match. Game 5, they've got a minute 26, the tall order, but we did see when they get at the beginning of, I believe, last match, they had some offense really going. They had it going. They had the rhythm. They were getting shots downfield, and they did them in quick succession. See if they can pull that off here in the final minute.
Nagflow, missed opportunity to dribble that ball downfield, let that ball get a little too far out ahead of him. Now this race to the corner boost will be won by Dumaine, but they do not have time to continue playing on their own defensive third. Coca will circle around. He will dribble. He'll get by State. Got a piece of Tox. He also clips Shamway, but Shamway had plenty of time to go grab that corner boost. It is almost unfathomable how a team down 3 in that situation could not have just thrown everybody forward, but it happened there for Vertex, and as a result, they miss out on a chance to get back within 2, and that may seal their fate here in Game 5.
Yeah, RCD Espanyol's done a great job of just controlling the ball, maintaining possession. They're making the most out of these plays and these opportunities and absolutely capitalizing on any opportunity presented to them. It's just been a bit much for Vertex to step up to.
Vertex, a team that seems to be a lot more willing to play defense and not take as many risks on the offensive end, at least when they get into league play, and it has reared its ugly head in Game 5. Some missed opportunities and some fortunate breaks for Espanyol. A few balls happened to find the nose of Shamway throughout this series.